Hey, this is Lee Palmer and this is How I DJ. I love to use the V10 because it's offering 4 EQs. I think you can mix really nicely, very detailed. I think it sounds amazing. A lot of people are a bit overwhelmed by these buttons, so you really have to choose the channel where you want to use the effects on. So you press this Beat FX Assign, and then what I like to do, I like the echo effects. I always put them on 1/4. Or the delay, I take the low out, which you can also do of course with your high pass filter, which I sometimes do even on top, but I like to take the low out here. I like to add it on the half beat. Sometimes I like the ping pong as well. Also here, take off the low, do it on a half beat as well. And of course, reverb, most famous effect. I think you have to be careful to not add too much. I think you can be a bit careful with the effects you're using. They should be on the right timing, of course. And I think you should be also fast enough to take them away when the new beat is coming. And then of course you have the send and return. You have them on the channel directly here. So you choose them and they're not synced to your track as the RMX will do that. So you have to be a bit careful because it could add a weird effect to it as well. So you need to really know what you're doing. I like to use the dub echo here as well and the reverb. And of course the isolator is cool as well. That means that you can really take away the full low, even of 2 tracks which are running at the same time. Also the compressor is nice, you know, if one track is not as loud as the other or doesn't have enough body, you can turn it up a little bit. I love also the CDJs 3000. Since they're out, mixing has become even easier because they run so tight. If you beat match your tracks one time, they will basically run on point the whole mix. I normally like to just use one track to the other track, but we can add also some pre-produced snare loops. You know, if you don't like to use the RMix, then we can even do that. I love the RMix because you can add some nice echo effects. The snares here you can pitch up as well, so that's what I couldn't do on my 3rd CDJ. I can just let them run, but not pitch them up. I do remember my first time mixing, and it has been in my small little apartment in Zurich. I got me some equipment, the CDJs 2000 without the sync button, so you really had to beat match by ear, and that's where I did my first transition. Through the years you of course gain a lot of experience, you know, whether you play in a club or in a festival, you know, okay, these are really different kind of sets. I just check first of all, which country is it? What's my set time? How big is it? Is it a club? Am I headlining? That really determines the tracks you're gonna play. And after nearly 10 years of experience, you don't have to actively think about that. It just comes automatically. I have so many playlists with peak time stuff. I have a lot with underground. I just check, of course, who's before me, who's after me. Sometimes you have now really high techno festivals, then maybe it's not appropriate to only play underground, or maybe it's actually what you want to do because you want to set a statement, you know. So I talk a lot also with my team, you know. Of course it's my taste of music, but we want to align everyone, you know. So we say, hey, what if I add some psytrance track here and there? If I like it, why not? And that's the preparation of my sets. basically what I've done now is showed you the difference of the normal echo from the V10, the delay, the ping pong. I did the reverb again, and I also used it on the RMX. The echo from the V10 is like super tight. It's just super nice to do that in between. I love to use the echo on the RMX before it goes into a break, actually, to add a little bit more body to it and then take away everything. There's a little bit more noise into that echo effect of the RMX, which you don't have on the V10. The delay and the ping pong, I think it gives a little bit of groove. It's not always really necessary, but I did it a lot now, maybe too much. I wouldn't mix like this at a festival or club, but just to show you the difference. I also added some mid effect here one time. I think that can be quite cool as well. Taking out the low from those effects, I think it's important because it just doesn't sound nice if you put an echo on the bass and kick, you know. So you can choose it here, but yeah, if you do another high pass filter on the V10, you will have those effects really clearly only on the highs and the mids, and that it just sounds much better because you don't want to double or delay the kick and the bass. Yeah, here you heard it quite clearly. It's just way more sharp on the highs and mids, and that's nicer to the ear. I do have some visuals which fit to Hariram, and we do brief the club or the festival beforehand, like, hey, it would be great if you play those visuals when I play Hariram. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think that's the beauty of being spontaneous. So to me, it's authentic and nice, and the magic of music as well, that you can make mistakes. Always keep this tension up as well, you know, like if I push this button wrong, then yeah, the music will stop. And hey, even if it happens, nowadays I make a gimmick out of it, you know, that actually will wake people up, like, oh my God, what happened? And then now I can smile and say, hey, I just started the track again, you know. I try to be authentic, I try to just do what I like. If that fits to the trend, that's cool, but I'm not going to be like, oh, everyone plays hard techno now, so I also have to do it. If I feel it, I do it. If I don't feel it, then it wouldn't be nice on stage. You know, I think no matter what you like, you find a lot of other people who will also like it. So with the snare on top of it, first of all, you have to make sure that the RMX is connected correctly, because otherwise it won't be synced to it and can sound terrible if it's not right. What I hear a lot with other DJs playing is that they put the snares on top way too loud, and I think that's not nice, because this should be just an add-on. Actually, in this track, I don't even think you necessarily need it, because there's a lot going on already. So I would normally just use this on a track where I think, okay, this needs a little bit of more tension, more energy. And then, as you see here, you can choose the volume of it. And then after, you can pitch it up as well. You hear it like that. And I like to be very careful with the volume, so you need to hear on your monitors, okay, what's happening, like how much do I hear it now compared to the track. I do like it anyways if the pitch is up already a little bit, because then they are higher and then you hear them better. And then if I feel like, okay, the volume is fine, the only thing what I do is towards the end of the break is that I pitch it up more and more and more. And of course, the timing has to be right. But you see on your waveform as well, and you will know also from knowing the track, okay, here there will be some silence again. And here you don't want to have the snare on there, so you need to be on time to take it completely away. You can even do that here with the release FX, but I never use that, I just do it here. I think this job is all about connection. People want to see a human being doing this, and for me that's the basic interesting thing of my career, that I have connection to the people and I want to inspire them and give them a part of me. Haters nowadays, it became such a normal thing that I don't even put much thoughts into this anymore. It's more like that I feel like it belongs to it, because I guess you're doing something interesting and then there's people who are interested in you, but they can't reach you, and probably that's why they choose for hate, because otherwise you could just click and just ignore me and just go to the next one. Most of the time, the biggest haters, they turn into your biggest lovers and fans if you actually interact with them. If you say, hey, actually, do you want to come to a festival and see it live? Then they're your biggest fans.
I want you to stop and listen. Listen to the fat bass. It'll show you you're alive. And listen to this fat bass that will send the blood coursing through your veins.
So yeah, what I did here with the mix is that I tried to listen if I mix in the second track, which is fat bass, how fat is sounding compared to the track which I'm already playing. And I think here it actually needs a little bit more body. It needs a bit more energy. It needs to be louder as well. And I love this compression tool which the V10 offers you here. You have to be careful with it because you can also ruin the mix. So especially if it's already super loud and kind of overproduced, you shouldn't use it. But I felt like here it will just smoothen out the mix a little bit more. I mean, your sound engineer will also do that for you, but I did it 2 times. First, when I mixed it, I felt like it needs a little bit, and then later on I also turned it up a little bit more. And like that, yeah, you can just control the fatness of your track a little bit yourself. You have to find your own way how to deal with social media. It has to be healthy. Social media can be great. It can be an amazing tool to grow your career, to connect with people, to connect with your fans, to even meet partners, managers, all those connections you can make there are great, but it can be also very unhealthy. And you can of course say, I don't want to do that. That's cool, but then you also can't expect the biggest reach. It's just a part of it now. I think if you find yourself a good team who can help you with this as well, maybe it's not your biggest skill, you can either learn it or you can get someone else to do it for you. So what I wanted to show is that you can use the amazing feature beat jump on those CDG 3000s. I loved it. I actually beat jumped through the first track here pretty fast. You don't do it like this, of course, but I just wanted to show it. You have to be careful with it because you can't do this with tracks where a lot of things are happening, because then you would maybe jump into the melody, so that could sound terrible. But I know with this track, quite raw underground track, like it's rolling through for pretty much 6-7 minutes. But you could hear it also, I think the third or fourth time I did it, it was not as pleasant as before. So normally I would do it at the end of a track to cut it a little bit. Also what I did here to show you as well, you can of course also jump backwards. That means if I feel like, oh my god, I mixed in too fast, then you can also use this feature to sort of loop your track again. I think every DJ should find out this beat jump feature. I think it's amazing. If you want to do this job long term, then you really have to think about what's important for you, how you're going to stay healthy. The touring is really hard when it comes to sleeping. That's the hardest. Find yourself some sports, find yourself some hobby which you have, which takes you out of this crazy business, because there's other things on this world as well, which you need as a human. You cannot have 5 months off and then be happy to work forever. No, it's always like the balance.